Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a truly incredible journey, one that spans all the way from the freezing depths of the Arctic Circle right into the boundless possibilities of the metaverse. We're looking at a fascinating collaboration between Fazia Sultana Malim's BSE2e platform and tech pioneer David Wortley. And it asks one of the most profound questions of our modern era. How do we actually preserve the human soul and the legacies of extraordinary people?
Think about this for a second. If all your digital memories just vanished tomorrow, what would your legacy actually be? Kind of terrifying, right? In our hyper-connected age, we tend to think everything lasts forever. But the reality? Our CDs, our pen drives, our cloud backups, they're incredibly fragile. Eventually, they degrade. And that constant lingering fear that our hard-earned human journeys could just vanish into the ether, that's exactly what sparked the monumental project we're exploring today.
All right, let's jump straight into part one, the grand vision, Earth to Eternity. Enter Fazia Sultana Malim. She looked at this problem of digital decay, and she didn't just want to build a better hard drive. No, she envisioned a massive global solution. Her grand vision is this interconnected human ecosystem that's currently operating across more than 200 countries. It's an ambitious, unified platform designed to capture real human journeys and actually preserve them. Notice the name of the platform itself, BSMe2e. That stands for Business Soul Mission, Earth to Eternity. It's not just some standard e-commerce site or another social network. It's a global marketplace designed explicitly to help people discover what they call their true soul identity. The core mission here is to help individuals transition from just dreaming about their passions to actively launching them and ultimately making their destiny. Now, the way this actually works on the platform is through 4 really beautifully structured, interconnected groups. You start out as the dreamers, the newbies and starters who are just finding their footing. Then you transition into the doers, becoming achievers who actively showcase their talent. From there, you elevate to drivers. These are the advocates actually building out the ecosystem. But the ultimate goal, the absolute pinnacle, is to become a destiny maker. These are the champions, the legacy builders whose journeys are considered so impactful that they deserve to be permanently preserved. And when I say permanently preserved, I'm not talking about a few decades. I mean, we're talking about 2,000 years. That's the timeline for BSMe2e's living time capsule. It is literally a jaw-dropping initiative. They're taking these lead-by-example journeys from their destiny makers and preserving them, not just on a server somewhere, but actually encoding them into DNA capsules and archival scrolls. These are then physically stored in the Arctic World Archive in Svalbard, deep in the permafrost designed to survive for 2 entire millennia. I mean, just imagine your life's work outlasting civilizations.
Which brings us to part 2, a pioneer's roller coaster journey.
Now, to really wrap our heads around the value of preserving a human story, we need to zoom in from this massive 2,000-year vision and look at one deeply human, highly serendipitous life. We're going to focus on tech pioneer David Wortley, whose incredible journey perfectly embodies the type of legacy BSMe2e wants to protect. Looking at David's 50-year career, it's basically a masterclass in resilience. He started with a British telecom scholarship back in the 70s. By 1985, he launched a massive presentation tech consultancy, pioneering overnight disk fax networks before PowerPoint even existed. But then, devastating lows. Following a massive government grant for an early web portal, the post-9/11 economic crash hit. A trusted partner forced him out. Overnight, David lost his house, his business, absolutely everything. He actually found himself working night shifts in a frozen food warehouse just to survive. But he didn't stop there. By 2007, he rebounded spectacularly, launching the world's first hybrid metaverse event in Second Life. Talk about a roller coaster.
But then came another massive pivot, and this time a deeply personal one. A 23andMe genetic test revealed David had an over 50% genetic risk for type 2 diabetes. That was his huge wake-up call. So, what does a tech pioneer do? Well, he gamified his own health. Just like a tech project, he treated it as a challenge, and by really understanding his body's data, he lost 21 kilos in just 3 months. This profound shift led him to dedicate the next 11 years of his life to lifestyle medicine advocacy, championing global community wellness and showing that technology's true purpose is to amplify our humanity. Moving right along to part 3, ordinary people, extraordinary impact. So the crucial point here is that David's journey perfectly aligns with Fazia's vision at BSMe2e. They both deeply believe in serendipity and the idea that ordinary people, no matter their setbacks, have completely untapped extraordinary potential to change the world. Just look at the people David cites as his biggest inspirations. They aren't tech billionaires or heads of state. There's Frank Bingley, a local milkman, who built a top-ranking community website entirely from scratch using just Notepad, driven purely by passion. Then there's Simon Stevens, a man with severe cerebral palsy, who completely bypassed his physical limits by using the metaverse to build a famous virtual nightclub called Wheelies, becoming a massive global disability advocate. And John Sinclair, an environmentalist who remained entirely silent for 15 solid years just so he could truly listen to others. These stories absolutely prove you do not need a massive platform to leave an indelible mark on the world.
And that brings us to our final section, Part 4, the true meaning of legacy. Preserving these kinds of stories brings up a really profound, fascinating debate between FRSA and David. When you strip everything else away, what does it truly mean to leave a lasting human legacy? Here, we can weigh two beautifully contrasting visions. On one side, you have the BSMe2e vision, high-tech, biological, and physical preservation in the Arctic World Archive for 2,000 years. It's concrete, it's historical. But on the other side, you have David's vision, driven by his work with 360 and 360 VR living memorials. He argues that true immortality is intimate and emotional. It's about the ripple effects of a life well lived, the positive experiences left in people's hearts and minds, and preserving those personal memories so future generations can actually step inside them and feel them. For David, that emotional legacy isn't something you leave behind when you die. It's built daily through everyday interactions. His signature stage catchphrase is simply the number 11. It's his powerful daily reminder to always go one better. In every interaction, whether you're on a global stage or just talking to a neighbor, he challenges himself and us to bring that extra bit of energy, that extra bit of humor, and the extra bit of insight, because that is how you build a legacy that actually matters in the present.
So, when asked what deeply moving final message he would leave in one of BSMe2e's timeless 2,000-year scrolls, David's answer perfectly encapsulated this entire ethos. He said, "Believe in yourself and share good things with your neighbors. Every ordinary person has the extraordinary capability within them. It's just finding it." It's such a powerful testament to the idea that your soul identity isn't defined by your tech, but by your humanity. Which leaves us with the ultimate question for you. Having seen the incredible resilience of David Wortley and the grand 2,000-year vision of the BSMe2e platform, are you ready to become a destiny maker? How are you showing up with an 11 today to build a legacy that echoes for eternity? Take some time to reflect on your own soul identity and start crafting your permanent story right now. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.